Hello friends, our today's question is question number 342, which is power of 4. Again, you have seen in my previous videos that I have calculated the power of 2 and power of 3 question, but this is another question of same concept, it is power of 4. So we now know that the similar concept will be applied here because we have that power of 2 and power of 3. We have calculated that, and now it seems easier. Now any question with this power you can do it easily by watching my 3 old videos of power of n number. So power of 2 and power of 3 we have calculated. Now we will calculate power of 4. So what this power of 4 is saying, we have big integer given an integer n, we need to return true if it is a power of 4, otherwise return false. So an integer n is a power of 4 if there exists an integer such that n is equals to 4 to the power of x. So if n is equal to 16, we know that 4 to the power of 2 is 16, so it will be return true. N is equals to 5, so there is no integer which is the power of 4 which is equal to 5, so it will return false. N equals to 1, because we know that 4 to the power of 0 is 1, so it will return true. So how we will approach this? The first condition is same as the previous two question, which is if n is less than 1, because we know that the graph of the we will return these false. Now we know that the for exponential function a to the power of x, we know that the graph of this is like increasing function. So any exponential function is increasing function, so it will not return any negative value. So to prevent any further execution when n is any negative integer, because test cases will be there like n is n will be equal to -2. So if n is equal to -20, so if n is equals to -16, find, because to prevent further execution if n is less than 1, so we have written this line here. Now what we need to check, we will check that only condition that if the number is divisible by 4, we will divide it by 4, and we will divide until the number becomes 4, and we will check that at last if it is equal to 1 or not. If it will be equal to 1, our output will be true, otherwise it will be false. So let's say our n is 32. So for n 32, and 32 will check this condition, so 32 is divisible by 4 or not. So we know that it is divisible by 4, so 32 will be divided by 4, which will be 8. Now 8 will go here, so it will again match this condition, so again 8 will be divided by 4, which will be equal to 2. Now this will go in this condition and will not match. So after not matching, we know that 2 now 2 is not divisible by 4, so it will come in this line, and we know that 2 is not equal to 1, so it will return false here. Now let's take another example, and if n equals to 64, so for n equals to 64, what we will do, that if n equals to 64, now it will check a condition that if it is divisible by 4 or not. So if it is divisible by 4, now what we will do, 64 by 4, which will be which will be what, 16, and 16 will go here, it will also match. Now 16 by 4 is 4, it will go here, and 4 divided by 4 is also 1, it will go here and not match, it will come in the last line, which is 1 equals to 1, so our output will be true. Now let's do the code. If n is less than 1, we will return false here to prevent any further execution. And now what we will do, we will run a while loop. The while loop will check that if the number is divisible by 4 or not. We will now, after checking that, we will divide that particular number until the answer is 1. At last what we will do, we will check that if the number is equals to 1, we will check that if n is equal to 1, so we will return that particular, we will return true, otherwise we will return false. So now let's run this. So as you can see here, all the test cases are passed perfectly. Now let's submit and check the results. As you can see here, all the test cases are passed perfectly and it is accepted. Our runtime is 2 millisecond and beats are 4.9%. Memory used here is 7.7 MB and beats are 78.48%. So this was the solution of this question. Thank you.